This episode of App Judgment is brought to you by the 2012 Ford Fiesta.
Welcome to App Judgment, your source for mobile application news and reviews. I'm Mauricio Balvanera.
And I'm Ron Richards.
Ron!
Hey, Mal!
You're back!
I'm back.
Been?
It's been a busy fall. It's been a busy fall.
Good.
It's good to be back.
You're busy over at Graphically.
Yes, doing a lot of work, churning out apps, digital comics, get them on your Android or your iPhone or the web.
Now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's good to be back, and I'm excited to be back because one of the most awesome developments, in my opinion, in the world of apps has happened recently.
Whoa, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me more.
It's the rollout of the new Google TV version 2 of Google TV.
That's right.
As I like to call it, the consumerification of Google TV.
That's right. Not so mobile in this version of App Judgment. This is more of a set-top box
Well,
thing.
it's still apps, though. I mean,
Still
App
apps.
Judgment.
Absolutely.
There is the Android Marketplace has now been added to Google TV, so now you can download and install applications, which is awesome.
And that's the biggest deal here. It's the difference between version 1 and version 2 is just night and day.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, it was the consumerification of the product. I had an original. I bought this device actually. I bought the Sony Blu-ray player a year ago now. It was over Thanksgiving weekend last year.
Yeah.
And Google TV was not even beta. It was alpha, if you ask me. It was so developer-y.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of it was very loose and not very UI, not good UI, not smooth.
A lot of good separate, almost good ideas, not fully baked.
Exactly. And what's interesting, what cracked me up is you'd hit settings and you get this little rectangle and it was just Android from the phone just on a TV.
Right.
There's still some of that hint, there, but now you've got this nice clean UI. You've got an easy way to navigate. And it's a lot more intuitive. I think I could hand this device to my sister, who's not a tech person, and she'd be able to use it.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to address before we jump into this new UI, back to the old UI, Logitech. They launched their review. I'm sure you guys have all heard of this if you're interested in Google TV. I think they lost over 100 million in profits since 2010, basically.
Well, that was you see. I mean, the Logitech CEO, the new Logitech CEO, got very bitchy on an earnings call. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Got very kind of moany on an earnings call, explaining that they were getting out of the Google TV business, and explained that they lost 100 million in projected revenues, which is projected.
They had more returns than they did sales in 2011. I mean, is that Logitech's fault, or is that the fault of the OS version 1? What was it?
It's a combination. I think that it's a lot of people have seen it as a condemnation of the Google TV platform. I don't think that's the case at all, especially with this new update.
Okay.
I think what it is that I think that Logitech made some bad business decisions, unfortunately. I wonder if there's some sort of behind the scenes partnership with Google that has faltered.
Yeah.
Google didn't come through on a promise. Google didn't pay. Something happened. You've also got a new CEO who's trying to undo the mistakes of the old CEO, and he's saying this is a clear thing. Also, Logitech. Logitech's great, and but they're an accessory company.
Yeah.
They make great. The Harmony remotes are awesome and stuff like that. But the mouses, things like that, they make things that complement other things. They're somewhat novices in actually creating products. This is a product rollout. And if you ask me, the review was probably too early.
So let's dive into the OS a little bit. But actually, before we do, I actually talked to Evan Horgan. He's one of our developers here in the office.
He's a good developer.
Good developer, very good developer. He's working on the Revision 3 app on the Google TV.
Exciting.
So I thought, let's get a little insight from the actual inside, the code.
Yeah.
Here's what he had to say.
All right, we're getting a little down and dirty here in the Developers Cube with Evan Horgan, who's actually developing the Revision 3 Google TV app. How's it looking?
It's coming along well.
That looks huge.
It is. It's on a big screen.
So what are some of the things that you're seeing when looking at the API? What sort of functionality do you see? Or what sort of functionality you're kind of saying that it's actually taken away a lot of the functionality?
It is. What you can't do is use any Android apps that require a certain hardware. So Bluetooth, camera, GPS, telephony, any of the sensors, the touchscreen, and that's a lot of Android apps. Won't run on this.
What are some of the functions that it's added to the API?
The biggest thing I think is the ability to control the channels programmatically. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for augmented experiences on this. So augmented TV, extra information, maybe clips for a particular show, whatever's running right now. There's a lot of opportunities.
Cool. So a lot of the code that you've been using for our, say, tablet applications is the same code you're using for the Google TV?
Yes.
Convenient.
Very convenient.
So there you go.
Exciting stuff.
It's Android. It is Android with functionality taken away.
Yeah, which is fine. Which is really interesting because then what you've got is you've got a whole world of Android apps that with a little modification can be formatted and fit for the TV screen, which is fascinating as far as I'm concerned. And that's something that, my day job at Graphically, which is digital comics, we have an Android app reading comics on the TV. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is.
And to enable to make that work isn't going to be very hard.
So taking a look at the home screen here, you've got a few tabs here at the bottom. You've got all of your apps here on the left, your apps button, your live TV. You should note that this isn't just a computer hooked up to your TV. This is actually a really nice wrapper to your existing terrestrial or cable TV.
That's a great way to describe it. Like basically it's like taking your television and putting a layer of the internet on top of it.
Yeah.
What's really neat, what I like about it from the TV standpoint, and Google TV is really embracing somebody like me as a cord cutter. There's a great application here that will load up that comes stock with the new OS, and it's called TV and Movies. And what they've done is that they've basically giving you an easy way to find content that you want. So for example here, if we go over into movies, and it gives you some comedy, drama, gives you genres. Let's say, okay, I want to watch Hot Tub Time Machine. I pull that up, it's going to give me great information about the movie, some related movies, and I can hit this Watch Now button, and it will tell me where it's available.
Yeah, right now you're just saying Netflix, but it's going to tell you if it's on Amazon, it's going to tell you if it's on...
We'll pull up a TV one, I'll show you. So what it's doing is it's scraping the web and mapping where you can find that stuff, which is the big problem with these cord cutting applications. It's like, where can I watch it? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So if I go, Walking Dead, show that we're a big fan of, I want to watch, you can also filter by what's free versus the ones you have to pay for, which is key. Deal. But so I want to watch season 1, and I'm going to watch episode 6, and okay, great, here you go. I can watch on Netflix, or I can go watch on Amazon.
And it also gives you the SD versus HD option.
Yeah. So,
obviously Netflix is on there down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Use this a lot, must have. The navigation is very familiar to if you're a current Roku or Boxy user. Nothing new here?
I mean, it's the standard. My new favorite functionality with Netflix is the resume playing.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the gym with my Motorola Zoom and I'll start watching in the loop, and I'll make it about halfway through the movie, and then I'll come home and go back to Netflix on the TV and it says pick up right where you left off. That's awesome.
Brilliant. YouTube tab. The YouTube interface is actually really nice.
Yep.
Let me say this right now. Apple has always been the user experience platform.
That's changing.
That's changing a lot, and I have to bring this up. iTunes Match has been an extremely frustrating experience. You're going to talk about Google Music. Very easy experience.
So easy, and the thing is that if you notice, the tide is changing at Google in terms of design. Even if you use their apps, like their web apps and stuff like that, you see that they're really starting to focus on design and unified looks and things like that. And these are great steps in that direction.
And I just need to say this: I'm an iPhone user. I am an iPad user. I can say this. I'm a fanboy, but I really see that for me it's always been, it's the app, stupid. Are the apps there, and is the UI design there? And it is.
And I gotta admit, having this YouTube app that's designed for the TV, it's designed for what we call in the business a lean back experience. I was hanging out with a friend and we were talking about Mitchell and Webb, that British sketch comedy show. And we sat on the couch for maybe an hour and a half just pulling up Mitchell and Webb sketches on YouTube. I mean, that's how it works now.
It's a YouTube party.
Yeah, totally.
It's a YouTube party right here in your bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Over to the market. Went over to Google Chrome.
Well, full browser, which is very interesting. So you can do anything you can do in the browser on your desktop, you can do here.
One of the things I've been doing is on my laptop, I have the Chrome push to phone extension, and I've set up basically my Google TV to be my phone. So if I'm watching something and I want to share it with my wife at home, I say, oh, check this out, and I hit the tab, opens up in Chrome automatically. Pretty awesome.
Cool. Pretty cool.
But back to the market. The one thing you'll notice right away is right now it's slim pickings.
Yeah, it's early.
Gotta be honest. Yes.
Yeah, we were talking before we did the show. We were looking at some apps, and you know how it's at the point now with the download numbers, and like with all both Android, it's all like million downloads, 500,000, and like literally we found some apps where it's like 10 to 50 downloads.
Right.
10 to 50, and like I'm at least 3 of them. So it's like
we're cutting edge. That's amazing.
I know,
that's super cutting edge.
But so what you got is the Android marketplace is very similar to what you got your experience on the web.
Well, let's dive a little bit into some more specific apps, but first let's thank our sponsor, the 2012 Ford Fiesta.
Hey, we're happy to have Ford back sponsoring the show again this week, and this time we're going to show you some of the great, cool musical stuff you can do. So this car is equipped with Bluetooth audio. That means I can connect my phone wirelessly to the car stereo, which also means that I have apps on my phone like Pandora, like Audio, a bunch of these different apps. I can have anyone in the car connect their phone and basically play the role of backseat DJ. And sometimes they play good music. Thanks again to the new Fiesta and Ford for sponsoring the show this week.
You know what? I actually brought this in just because I thought I'd be able to plug it into the back of the Google TV.
There is no coax.
No coaxial cable. This is, of course, a terrestrial HD antenna that you can install.
There's got to be a way to figure. That's one of my weekend projects.
Yeah,
is I'm going to figure out how to get the TV actually routed into this because I do have the HD antenna.
It's easy for me because I've got my TiVo and it's just
because I've got coax going right into the TV, and so it's mainly for award shows for like the Oscars. Like that's the only reason why I have it.
You don't watch sports, do you?
I watch baseball, but I have the MLB.
You got the MLB.
Yeah. Oh, there better be an MLB app next spring. I just totally thought of that. Yeah, there's not right now because it makes sense. But if MLB, if you're watching, I want an at-bat app for Google TV.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it. I have no problem paying for it.
I'm waiting for Audio. I'm waiting for Spotify.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. That's a good segue because I'm not, because I've completely committed to Google Music. They recently rolled out, it left beta. That was like the shortest beta ever in Google history, if you ask me.
It
was very
I'm impressed. Way to go, Google.
Yeah. Not only that, but they left it free.
Yeah.
So up to 20,000 songs is free. I'm up to about 16,000, so I'm still in that zone. So this is the Google Music app. And this is Mauricio's music.
This is my music.
Mine, so
don't make fun of me.
But it took once you install it. I don't know if you had this experience, but it took a while to sync up all the album art and all that sort of stuff for me.
It took by a while, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, no, it took longer for me. Like
you probably have a lot of music
exactly.
on there,
But so it's very similar to the updated phone app.
Yeah.
Very ice cream sandwichy in terms of the UI, a lot of blues and things like that.
Yeah.
But you can browse, you can browse your music. You can drill down to, I don't know any of these artists.
You don't know Tupac?
Yeah.
You don't know Totally 80s?
I'm gonna go totally 80s. You can drill down to an album and you can play a song. You can shuffle, all that stuff. You can manage your playlist. It's all right here. Mm-hmm. And then once you start playing a song, it will run in the background. And then what you can do is you can then go and you can go use the Chrome browser, and you can go surf the web, all the while listening to the music. But then also you can access and control the music that's playing via the widget. So I just hit the home button. And I can say, okay, I want to stop playing the music and start it again, that sort of thing. So,
okay, you also a fan of Socialize?
I don't know if I'm a fan. I've tinkered with it. I mean, the thing about Google TV is that right out of the gate, you're going to see a lot of the applications being ways to enhance TV. So Socialize is another one of those types, but what it's doing is it's totally taking TV and social media, and basically you can the little test pattern is if we had TV running, TV would be playing there, and the idea being that while you're watching TV, you're seeing a steady stream of posts from Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's really just Twitter searches for any. So for this, I just looked up Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and this is just a stream of everyone talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Twitter. You can post from here. You can sync it with your Twitter account so you can see your feed. Mm-hmm. It's just a way to socially watch TV. So and a lot of people, more and more people are doing this. I mean, Community is, I know dearly departed Community, but people have been tweeting while it's playing. Like a lot of my friends do that, and if I got into that kind of thing, that could be a cool kind of.
I'm not a fan of that with narrative. I can see with sports. That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Diving a little bit into what I'm interested in, more of the TV wrapper thing. You've got Plug Player and Plex. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about
that. So now, and also I want to touch on just the stock media player. As we mentioned, I'm completely unplugged. So when I'm not watching Netflix or I'm not watching other stuff, I actually have digital files of a lot of TV shows and movies that I've fallen off trucks.
Yeah.
And what's great is that you can access those files in numerous ways. Now the USB jack on the front of this now is live, and you can plug in a USB jack and you can access photos, video, whatever you want. You can play all off of an external storage device, which is amazing. There's no local storage on this device, so that's something to keep in mind. I've got a DLNA application running on my laptop. It's right behind here. I'm actually using Views. VUZE. And what it does now is you can say select a device and it will search your network and it will tell you all the devices that are DLNA activated. And so here I am. So there's Views on R. Richards. And so here you can go through it. So now I'm browsing the files that are right here on my machine. a couple other options you might want to look into. Plug Play, I haven't played with yet, but Plug Play is a, and I don't know if it will give you the scraping that you want, kind of like Boxy, but that's, as opposed to using DLNA, Plug Play uses UPnP, Universal Plug and Play. Yeah. So if you have UPnP devices around your house, you can utilize Plug Play, and I'll pull that up here. You can use Plug Play to access those devices on the Google TV. It's a little pricey, it's $5 in the Android marketplace, but if, you know, in this particular case, Plug
I do
Player,
that because $5, it's really not that much if you really like what the application's
and
doing.
Plug Player will do music, you know, all kinds of media. So that's an option. But the one that's interesting that just came out, it literally just came out, and so it's so new that actually in the marketplace, I think it's got 100 to 500 downloads, and I haven't had a chance to play with it yet.
We just installed it right now before starting the show.
Exactly. It's called Plex, and you might have heard Plex. Plex has been around for a while. Boxy-esque type application. Right. Great applications that let you stream from your Plex server to the iPad, things like that. Now they've launched for Google TV.
I think you need to curate their featured apps because I don't like opening up the marketplace and seeing Fireplace.
Well, that's the problem. Is because there's so few apps, there's not a lot of diversity. So we're seeing all recipes, which is cool. The recipes and the craft kitchen one, that's cool. But the Fireplace app and like there's a couple of games on there. But we really, this is like, I always make the baseball analogy. We haven't even thrown out the first pitch yet. Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like right now, like we're setting the lineups, and like it's so early in the game. I can't wait to see as developers really dig in deep with this. And part of it is developers need to have a platform in order to make it worth their time. Absolutely. So more people need to adopt it. More people need to be using it. But you know, I'm doing my best. If you follow me on Twitter, I think not a day goes by where I don't talk about Google TV.
Well, Ron, you're bullish on it. I'm completely bullish on it. Yeah. If you want to see more of Ron, actually, if you want to see more of what Ron does, let's not. Go to Graphically. Check out the comic app.
Yeah, go to Graphically.com. We've got great applications for iOS and Android, for the Nook, for Kindle Fire, stuff like that. That's all Graphically.com.
But if you do want to see more of Ron, you're pretty much on the Twit Network every week.
Yeah, we've been doing All About Android with Eileen and Jason over there every Monday.
Really good information for all you Android people. Check them out.
It's good times.
Ron, thank you for
my pleasure
coming back.
Yeah, and follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/RonXL. Yeah, no, definitely, I want to be here.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and we've got a Google Plus page now. Do it. Check it out. Happy holidays. We'll see you soon.